It's not when it's not being triggered. So if it's not detecting anything warm and moving, it's a 0. And if it does detect something, it's a 1. And those are the 3 inputs. Switch on door, whether the alarm is switched on or off, and whether there's a warm body in the garage. Now if I was doing it for the whole house, I'd have a lot more sensors. But you'll see, it's not exactly complicated what we're going to do next, but there's enough detail in there. We'll do more complicated examples later on, just to give you an idea of where we're going with the logic. Now I've got outputs as well. And I can essentially turn things on and off. Now as a computing person, I'm not bothered about the electrical characteristics. If I was an electronic engineer, I'd be thinking, oh, how many transistors do I need and what capacitors do I shove in there? And I'm not bothered. I'm not an electronic engineer. We're designing the logic. We then give it to a lecky to build. We're not bothered about that bit. That's something separate. Right, so a 0 means I switch the internal feature off, and a 1 means I switch it on. A 0, I've broken my rules about 1s being on and off there, so I've caught up later on though. So, with the alarm, can we say it's a 1 if the alarm's on, and a 0 if it's off? I have actually, you can't really see it, but I've scribbled something on the side that reminds me to say I got it the wrong way around. It wouldn't matter, you could do it the other way around, it's just the rest of the slides that assume that I did it the way that I intended to do it. So I've got 3 inputs, 2 outputs. I've defined what I want the 0s and 1s to mean. So, whenever we're doing digital logic, it's very methodical. You have to decide what your inputs are, what your outputs are, what a 0 and 1 mean in that context. That's the easy bit, if you like. You then do a bit of thinking later on. Now, what we've got to do now is make sure that we go through all the possible combinations of inputs. So, because what we need, being computing people, computing is easy really. It's just a question of being very, very methodical and making sure you've gone through every possibility. Because that's all a computer program is. It just goes through every possibility for the problem you're solving. If you miss a possibility out, then surprise, surprise, the program won't work because it's not going to invent it for itself. So you've got to think of all the possibilities. So that's what we're going to do on this one. Right? We're going to knock out what's called a truth table. It's called a truth table